se sent en famille en ce sens que la Russie est une famille aussi pour l'Afrique. C'est une famille parce que nous avons la même histoire. La Russie a consenti d'énormes sacrifices pour libérer le monde du nazisme pendant la Seconde Guerre mondiale.
After Russia has replaced the West across various sectors in Africa, will it also secure control over resources currently held by Western powers in Africa? In a decisive and forward-thinking move, Russia, through its state nuclear company Rosatom, is actively pursuing the acquisition of uranium assets in Niger, which are currently under the control of France's state-controlled Orano SA. But what drives such a bold initiative? Russia's increasing dominance in Africa comes as the West finds itself increasingly sidelined. Despite imposing numerous sanctions on Russia and exploiting Africa's resources for decades, Western nations now lack the authority to hinder the establishment of ties between Russia and African nations. Yet, does this signify the end of the relationship between the West and Africa? Let's find out. This initiative is part of Russia's broader strategy to foster equitable relationships in Africa, break free from Western exploitation, and diversify its energy sources, thereby challenging the historically exploitative Western dominance in the region. And what does this mean for Niger? For decades, African nations like Niger have borne the brunt of Western exploitation, with countries like France leveraging Africa's abundant natural resources for their economic gain while leaving local populations in poverty. Niger's uranium reserves, critical for global energy needs, have been particularly lucrative for French interests, epitomizing a pattern of neo-colonial exploitation. The control exerted by France through Orano, a 90% state-owned nuclear energy giant, shows the extent of Western dominance over Niger's economic and political landscape. Orano's significant stakes in 3 major uranium mines in Niger have not only enriched France but also fueled economic disparity and political instability within the region. This exploitation has perpetuated a cycle where Western powers extract resources without fostering sustainable development or empowering local governance structures. France's colonial legacy continues to loom large over Niger, shaping its institutional capacity and governance dynamics. The focus during colonial rule was on resource extraction and maintaining control, rather than investing in infrastructure or human capital. This historical neglect has left Niger ill-equipped to address its socio-economic challenges independently, contributing to a climate ripe for coups and internal strife. Beyond France, other Western powers, including the United States, have also played pivotal roles in Niger, often prioritizing security over long-term development. This imbalance has skewed international aid towards military assistance, further exacerbating socio-economic inequalities and fostering a reliance on external powers. And how does Russia bring any ease to Niger when it comes to handling Niger's resources? In contrast to Western approaches, Russia's engagement with Niger represents a paradigm shift towards mutual respect and equitable partnership. By pursuing the acquisition of Niger's uranium assets, Russia aims not only to enhance its energy security, but also to empower Niger economically and politically. This strategic move signals Russia's commitment to supporting Niger's sovereignty and fostering genuine cooperation based on shared benefits. Russia's proactive stance offers Niger an opportunity to break free from historical exploitation and forge a path towards sustainable development. It presents a model where nations collaborate as equals, leveraging their respective strengths for mutual prosperity. This approach stands in stark contrast to the exploitative practices of the past, promising a new era of stability and economic growth for Niger. Through strategic investments and diplomatic engagement, Russia seeks to catalyze positive change in Niger and the broader African continent. It envisions a future where African nations assert their sovereignty and harness their resources for inclusive development, free from external interference and exploitation. As Russia expands its influence in Niger's uranium sector, it not only secures critical resources for its own energy needs, but also contributes to global energy security. This strategic alignment positions Russia as a key player in shaping the future of Africa's energy landscape, fostering stability and promoting self-reliance. The question here is this relationship a win-win? Here's a reminder to please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. Niger, a significant producer of uranium, holds a pivotal position in the global energy market, contributing nearly 4% of the world's uranium supply as of 2022. This critical resource not only fuels nuclear reactors worldwide, but also represents a strategic asset for nations seeking to secure their energy future. Rosatom's proactive engagement with Niger's military-led authorities marks a decisive shift in Russia's economic and diplomatic strategy in Africa. By supporting the development and expansion of Niger's uranium industry, Russia aims not only to strengthen its energy security, but also to empower Niger economically and strategically. Mark Hibbs, a respected nuclear analyst with the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, observes that Russia has been stepping up its economic, diplomatic, and military engagements in Africa, particularly following the political changes in Niger. This region is increasingly viewed by Russia as a pivotal opportunity for strategic investments. This perspective reflects Russia's broader vision of a multipolar world order characterized by partnerships founded on mutual respect and mutual benefit, in contrast to the exploitative practices historically associated with Western powers. So, Niger's uranium wealth has long been exploited by Western powers, with France's Orano SA holding significant interests in Niger's uranium mines. This historical relationship has often marginalized Niger's economic potential, perpetuating dependency and hindering local development, as we already discussed. Russia's entry into Niger's uranium sector presents a transformative opportunity to break free from this cycle of exploitation and forge a path towards sustainable economic growth. Russia's investment in Niger's uranium industry extends beyond mere economic transactions. It signifies a strategic partnership aimed at enhancing Niger's capacity to harness its natural resources for inclusive development. By fostering local expertise, infrastructure development, and technological advancement in uranium mining, Russia seeks to empower Niger to emerge as a regional leader in the energy sector. And the geopolitical implications of Russia's engagement in Niger cannot be overstated. As Western influence wanes amidst political transitions and strategic reevaluations, Russia's approach offers a counterbalance based on cooperation and mutual benefit. The diplomatic warmth exhibited between Burkina Faso's captors Ibrahim Traoré and Russian President Vladimir Putin at the Russia-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg exemplify Russia's commitment to cultivating genuine partnerships across the African continent. Russia's proactive stance in Niger also includes bolstering regional security through military cooperation. The deployment of advisors and equipment underscores Russia's commitment to enhancing Niger's defense capabilities, thereby contributing to broader regional stability in the Sahel. This strategic alignment not only safeguards Russia's investments, but also positions it as a reliable partner in addressing transnational security challenges. Russia's interest in Niger's uranium assets transcends immediate energy security concerns. It represents a broader vision for sustainable development and self-reliance in Africa. By empowering Niger to effectively manage and benefit from its uranium resources, Russia fosters a model of development that prioritizes local ownership and long-term prosperity over external dependency. Moreover, Russia's strategic investments in Niger align with global efforts to combat climate change and promote clean energy solutions. As the world transitions towards a low-carbon future, uranium remains a crucial component of the clean energy mix, positioning Niger as a key player in global efforts to mitigate carbon emissions. But that is not where the story ends. While from the surface it might look like Russia is only trying to get into Niger's resources, Russia is going even deep. It is going to the roots, and the military is helping Russia with that. How so? Central to Russia's support for Niger is the provision of military aid, a strategic move aimed at ensuring the country's security against any potential external threats. This military cooperation serves as a powerful deterrent against nations like the United States, which might seek to exploit Niger's resources or undermine Russian influence in the region. Russia's military aid to Niger includes the deployment of advisors, the provision of advanced military equipment, and the establishment of training programs for Nigerian forces. This comprehensive support aims to bolster Niger's defense capabilities, making it increasingly difficult for any external power to intervene or destabilize the country. The presence of Russian military advisors and equipment is not just about strengthening Niger's military. It is a statement of solidarity and commitment to protecting Niger's sovereignty. One of the primary motivations behind Russia's military aid to Niger is to prevent any potential exploitation by Western powers, particularly the United States. With Russia's strategic foothold in Niger, it becomes significantly harder for any foreign power to impose its will or exploit the country's resources. This military support acts as a shield, ensuring that Niger's wealth benefits its people rather than lining the pockets of foreign entities. The strategic importance of Niger's uranium cannot be overstated. As one of the world's leading producers of this critical resource, Niger holds a key position in the global energy market. By securing a stable and friendly government in Niger, Russia not only enhances its energy security, but also disrupts the long-standing Western monopoly over African resources. This move is a masterstroke in Russia's broader geopolitical strategy, enabling it to assert its influence and challenge Western dominance on the global stage. But don't let the thought of Russia exploiting Africa come to mind, because the relationship between Russia and Niger is characterized by a win-win dynamic, where both nations stand to gain significantly. For Niger, the benefits are manifold. Russian military aid ensures the country's security, allowing it to focus on economic development and improving the living standards of its people. The partnership with Russia also means access to advanced technology and expertise, which can help Niger harness its resources more effectively and sustainably. For Russia, the alliance with Niger provides a strategic advantage in the global energy market. Control over significant uranium resources enhances Russia's nuclear energy capabilities, providing a reliable source of fuel for its reactors and a valuable asset for export. Additionally, this partnership strengthens Russia's influence in Africa, a continent that is increasingly becoming a battleground for global power competition. Here you must be thinking that yes, this relationship does lead Russia and Africa to a good future, but what does uranium alone mean for Russia? What about it? Russia's potential takeover of uranium deposits in Niger represents a strategic action in its broader efforts to expand its influence in Africa and diversify its energy sources. If successful, this move would grant Russia control over significant uranium resources, with far-reaching implications for nuclear power generation, reactor supply, advanced nuclear fuel development, and the global uranium market. Additionally, it aligns with Russia's long-term strategy of investing in strategic sectors across Africa, reinforcing its geopolitical and economic footprint on the continent. One of the primary motivations behind Russia's interest in Niger's uranium is the potential to bolster its nuclear power generation capabilities. Uranium is a critical resource for nuclear reactors, which produce about 20% of Russia's electricity. By securing a stable and potentially substantial supply of uranium from Niger, Russia can reduce its reliance on foreign uranium supplies, ensuring greater energy independence. This move would not only stabilize domestic energy production, but also enhance Russia's capability to fuel its international nuclear reactors. Russia is a significant player in the global nuclear industry, with Rosatom, its state nuclear energy corporation, actively building nuclear reactors in several countries, particularly in Eastern Europe. Control over Niger's uranium deposits would enable Russia to supply fuel for these reactors, strengthening its position as a reliable and dominant supplier of nuclear fuel. This not only bolsters Russia's economic interests, but also enhances its geopolitical influence, as countries relying on Russian nuclear fuel are likely to maintain closer ties with Moscow. Beyond conventional nuclear power applications, Russia's access to Nigerian uranium could play a crucial role in the development of advanced nuclear fuels. High-assay, low-enriched uranium HALEU is essential for next-generation reactors, which promise greater efficiency and safety compared to current technology. By controlling a significant source of uranium, Russia can secure the raw materials needed for HALEU production, positioning itself at the forefront of nuclear innovation. This would enhance its technological leadership and create new export opportunities in the burgeoning field of advanced nuclear reactors. The global uranium market is a critical component of the nuclear energy sector, and by acquiring uranium assets in Niger, Russia could increase its share of the world's uranium production. This move would provide Russia with greater leverage in the market, allowing it to influence uranium prices and supply dynamics. Such a position would not only bring economic benefits, but also strategic advantages, as control over key resources often translates into broader geopolitical influence. Russia's pursuit of uranium in Niger is part of a larger strategy to invest in Africa's strategic sectors, particularly energy and infrastructure. By investing in these areas, Russia aims to build long-term relationships with African nations, fostering economic and political alliances. These investments are seen as a way to gain a foothold in a region that is increasingly becoming a battleground for influence among global powers. Niger, with its rich uranium deposits, presents a valuable opportunity for Russia. The country is one of the world's top producers of uranium, and its resources are crucial for any nation looking to secure a stable supply of this critical mineral. By securing control over these deposits, Russia would not only enhance its energy security, but also strengthen its strategic presence in Africa. Russia's actions in Niger can be viewed through the lens of its broader geopolitical strategy. By increasing its influence in Africa, Russia aims to counterbalance the presence of other major powers, such as the United States, China, and the European Union, who are also vying for influence on the continent. Africa's strategic importance is growing due to its abundant natural resources, young population, and potential for economic growth. By securing a presence in Niger, Russia can ensure it remains a key player in this important region. While we are talking about Russia taking control of France-owned uranium assets, it is also important to talk about France and Niger's relation, so we know how easy it will be for France to let go of Niger. France's completion of its military withdrawal from Niger marks the end of a decade-long presence in the Sahel region, prompted by demands from Niger's new military leadership following a July 2023 coup. This move not only signifies a strategic shift, but also has significant implications for Franco-Nigerian relations and broader geopolitical dynamics in Africa. France had been a key player in Niger, not only militarily, but also as a major provider of economic aid. In 2021, France committed $97 million in development aid aimed at bolstering various sectors crucial for Niger's growth, including health, education, and infrastructure. However, the suspension of this aid in response to the coup underscores France's insistence on constitutional order and governance stability in its aid partnerships. Niger's strategic importance lies in its vast natural resources, particularly uranium, essential for France's nuclear energy sector. France has historically relied on Nigerian uranium to power its nuclear reactors, contributing significantly to its energy security. The withdrawal of French troops has raised questions about the future of France's access to these critical resources, potentially opening the door for other global players, notably Russia, to step in. Russia's interest in acquiring Niger's uranium assets aligns with its broader objectives of energy diversification and geopolitical influence in Africa, complicating the traditional Franco-Nigerian relationship. Also, the coup in Niger represents a setback for French influence in the Sahel region, where France has invested heavily in military operations under Operation Barkhane to combat jihadist insurgencies and stabilize the region. This withdrawal comes amidst a backdrop of similar political upheavals in neighboring countries like Mali and Burkina Faso, further diminishing French influence and fostering new alliances and partnerships, including with Russia. Looking forward, the future of Franco-Nigerian cooperation remains uncertain. Despite the suspension of aid and military withdrawal, ongoing discussions revolve around the Sahel's persistent security challenges and the potential for international cooperation. France's role in addressing these challenges will depend on navigating the evolving political landscape in Niger and the broader Sahel region, while balancing its strategic interests with the changing dynamics of global competition for African resources. Here, what does giving the right to Russia to have hold of African resources mean? African nations, in this context represented by Niger, trust Russia as a reliable partner. This trust is built on Russia's consistent support and commitment to mutual benefit without the historical baggage of exploitation that many African nations have experienced with Western powers. It reflects a shift away from Western dominance and control over African resources. Historically, Western nations have often exploited African resources for their benefit, contributing to economic dependency and political instability in many African countries. By turning to Russia, African nations like Niger seek to break free from this cycle and pursue relationships that prioritize sovereignty and equitable partnerships. Allowing Russia to have a hold on African resources is seen as a step towards asserting sovereignty and independence. It signifies a desire to manage and benefit from their resources without external interference or exploitation, whether it's political, economic, or military. Let's end this discussion with one question. Has the end of West African relations come? Yes, the end has indeed come, and Russia is playing a facilitating role in this transition. However, it's crucial to recognize that the decision to pivot away from traditional Western relations was driven primarily by Africa's considerations and aspirations for sovereignty and self-determination. Over decades, many West African nations have endured a relationship with the West characterized by exploitation of resources, unequal economic partnerships, and political interference. This historical backdrop has fueled a growing sentiment among African nations to seek alternative partnerships that offer mutual respect, economic development, and strategic independence. Russia's involvement in Africa, including its engagement with countries like Niger over uranium resources, represents a pivotal moment in this shift. By offering partnerships based on respect and mutual benefit, Russia has provided African nations with an alternative to traditional Western dominance. However, it's essential to emphasize that the decision to recalibrate relations with the West is rooted in Africa's quest for autonomy and the pursuit of partnerships that prioritize African interests. Russia's role, while supportive and enabling, is not the sole determinant, but rather a facilitator in Africa's journey towards asserting its sovereignty and shaping its future. Do you think Russia's hold on Africa is okay? Is it to harm Africa or for benefit? Do you allow that as a citizen of Africa? Let us know in the comment section. Is Russia-Africa relations a start of a new dawn for Africa? Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If so, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.